Simpsons Index, an online spreadsheet that is also a podcast. This is the podcast.
Yeah, we witness. This is all comedic events of a nature.
He's just doing fade-up content.
Yep, and everybody's loud.
Rhubarb. Yeah, comedy gold.
Alright, and we are live from the dank. This is the Simpsons Index. This is episode 17.
Get out of town.
And joining
We're nearly
me-
legal.
and just one more until it can go out and drink.
In this country.
Yeah. So anyway, joining me today is...
My name is Mr. Snrub, and I come from someplace far away. Yes, that'll do.
I like the way you think. And also...
He's always so on point. No, man. I'm just me today.
Do you want to be Joey Joe
me.
Jr.
No.
Have we
I'm
done that one?
just
We've done that one.
me.
BT and Danny are joining me in the dank. And
Hey, not Danny. I'm just me. You're no longer me. You're now you.
Oh shit. We got metaphysical up on this bitch.
So you said me referring to you?
No. You're referring to you. Me's referring to me. Oh God, I'm gonna do this for months.
And who can stop forest fires?
And
you
we're
have said
back.
you, meaning me. The correct answer is you.
And we just watched season 2 episode
Episode fuck.
Yep. It was good too.
There was some fucking.
Sorry.
It was more than I expected.
Take two. We just watched season 2 episode 13, Homer versus Lisa and the 8th Commandment.
There was still more fucking than I expected.
So much more.
Guys, what'd you think?
More fucking than we expected.
It was explicit. It was quite explicit.
Stardust memories.
The raunchiest episode of The Simpsons so far.
Broadcast nudes.
Yep.
Guys, what'd you think?
He practices that in front of a mirror. You know?
Yeah, I know. I've seen him do it. You come here early sometimes. He's just got more. Me. Guys, what did you think? Yeah, it's all right.
It's quite good.
It's quite good. Why don't you take us through a general synopsis, Elliot J.
I
O'Neill?
wish I had a general synopsis to listen to.
Man, he is a tough taskmaster. You do not want to
Get
get general
ready.
synopsis.
Here is the synopsis.
Boom.
The Simpsons get an illegal cable connection, and you see how it impacts their family.
Beautiful. There's also
Wow.
like moral, religious questions.
Yep.
Lisa's value of morality and religion, which she later shirks wholeheartedly.
And her father being what is essentially a negative influence,
Yeah,
and
then
her losing respect for her daddy. That's not good.
Yep.
I know that's pretty bleak, and it really shows Bart being led astray by his actions as well. You know,
Yeah, true.
Him just like wholeheartedly following. Hey, well, Homer gets to be criminal. I can't wait until I can be a criminal.
That's right.
Yep.
And Marge is all, being concerned and like, hey, your daughter's losing respect for you. And then he fucking puts the foot down.
Puts the
Oh
foot
my
down.
God.
Probably the best line in this. Oh, I don't know. I don't put my foot down about a lot of things, Marge, but here it comes. Nope, the foot is down.
don't do it.
The foot has spoken.
Such a great animation bit where they change the
The
perspective.
foot shot.
Actually, yeah, just to talk about the animation in this episode, this is still season 2. It's fairly early, so rudimentary stuff. But
Yeah, that very thick lining going on.
yeah. Their lines are thick. Their lines need to lose some weight.
Man, don't body shame lines. Not cool.
Lines.
There were a couple of little things. Bart's mouth again, when he shakes his head and his mouth goes the other way.
Yeah.
There were a few shots where Homer's size was really strange. Like there's a part where he's standing next to Burns at the door, and he's a lot shorter than Burns. And I was like, wow, when was Homer this short? And then you get a shot and he's really tall in the next scene.
Yeah, and there's like the group shot where after the fight, and they're like, yeah, and everyone just looks odd because there's so many people in frame. They didn't fully animate everybody properly. And
I actually thought when Bart had all the kids around for the
broadcast nudes.
bit closer, bit more sultrier.
Broadcast nudes.
There we go.
Broadcasting now.
Oh, I've got tingles.
Nude.
But yeah, all the kids looked really weird, especially Ralph Wiggum, whose mouth was like really agape and he had no teeth drawn in. So it like
half of them looked a lot flatter than normal. You know?
Yep.
Is that a thing I'm allowed to say? I'm not allowed to say.
Well, it's a 2-day space, but I get what you mean.
Yeah. I mean, a bunch of them were just scribbles. They weren't actual characters. There was the kid with the glasses, the cool kid. I noticed him.
Yeah.
And then Squiggle McGee, which is probably not his
A rather
stage name.
forgotten
I
character.
think that's Wendell.
Yeah, I think it's a variation on Wendell at the very least.
Wow.
But the cool animation bits that I did like was when, so Lisa had just learned about hell and she's picturing the family
Yeah,
all
yeah.
going
Oh,
to hell,
yeah,
all that.
yeah.
That classic Renaissance version of hell. I also really like when Mr. Burns is talking about a fight is one of those rare times I savor the sights, the sounds, and yes, the smells of other men. And then Smithers says, "You haven't lost your common touch, sir." And it cuts this wide shot of this Burns alone in front of monitors, and
Yeah.
his high back
Yeah.
chair casting this long shadow on an empty room, and it's like, yeah, nice.
Yeah.
That's a good framework.
Yeah, and also when Homer's imagining himself in prison and the camera
That
spinning.
was great. The spinning camera.
Really cool bits
Beautiful.
of animation that really do make up for the times when it's just doing big crowd shots.
Yeah,
and-
they did the low shot with the flames and the devil appearing again. That was really nice.
Oh, we saying about the devil as well.
Oh yeah, it was still Devil Flanders.
Yeah. It was totally that same voice.
Oh, definitely. I feel like it's gonna be a running gag now. And that's it's a cute little juxtaposition between Heaven Flanders and Hell Flanders. I kind of hope that it doesn't happen, but it'd be really funny if they had God as like Snake or something as well. Get the counterpoint happening.
No, God to them has always just been the headless body, and he hangs out with SpongeBob. And
Yeah, watches the football.
And has the Colonel throw popcorn chicken into his mouth. Which you would.
Totally. One thing I didn't so much like about this episode, it was very churchy.
It's
It was quite churchy.
It's not.
It's borderline preachy, actually.
Yeah.
Don't steal. I could sum the episode up in 2 words.
Don't
Done.
steal,
You just seen that
kids.
episode. Don't steal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think, and again, this is going back to what The Simpsons originally was, and it was the antithesis of every kind of family show that had been before. You had the Brady Bunch and My Three Sons and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
There was literally a show called Father Knows Best, and here you had the opposite of that, where the father is the bumbling kind of idiot. So, point being, in those kind of shows, in Brady Bunch or something, Bobby would have stolen something. He would have been sat down and told, "Now this is why stealing is wrong, Bobby." Where in
Yeah.
this, it's the
Yeah,
father
yeah,
doing it,
yeah.
and the kids who are like, well, Lisa, this is wrong.
I guess
Right.
you
And I
have to
think-
have it preachy in order for him to have a wrong to
Yeah,
do.
it's still doing the reverse, but it's doing the reverse of something that isn't a trope these days. So
Well, yeah, I guess that sort of shows where the episode's dated, because like the expectation, especially of families on television, is that they were church going, especially in America.
yeah, and I mean, even as the Simpsons go on, they downplay that church bit continuously until it's oh yeah, the kids were never baptized. We get an episode out of that, and
Yeah. No, absolutely. Like the fact that they still go to church these days, despite like pretty much every character in their family having already had a God doesn't exist crack. Like,
Yep,
Hey,
except for
Homer
Marge,
met
I
God
think.
like twice.
Yeah,
that's
it's
true.
He told him when he was going to die.
I assume so.
You can't wait 6 months.
There was a cut to black there. Anything
Yeah.
could have happened.
Sure.
So other dated things about this, yeah, the whole Sunday school thing and the whole concept of hell, I thought was, I don't know.
It's your classic version of hell, though.
Yeah, it's very classic, but it's also, to me at least, as atheist. Sorry, audience.
Ooh.
To me, as an atheist, it really like spelled out the church as like this rigid, out of touch, sort of out of date thing, being really preachy with their heavy handedness, and I don't
Going
know.
with a very medieval version of church.
Yeah.
Worms
Yeah.
shall be your blankets, maggots your sheet. There are pirates, thousands of pirates.
Really didn't sell it to me. It didn't feel like they were selling the church. Like they had a sense of morality of the episode because everyone learned a little something at the end.
Yeah.
But yeah, even that they started with 2000 BC or whatever. Oh wow, yeah, pull me up on that.
How
bit's
good
still
is
great.
that? A bit of animation there.
Oh yeah, with
just like,
Moses appearing.
Moses
and
is
being-
coming. Act busy. They'll go back to stealing and hitting on each other's wives.
I like that they were all professions, though,
Yeah.
before someone said you couldn't. Like, that someone could make ends meet stealing or just being an adulterer.
Adult. Oh yeah.
My
My
wife
wife-
sends her a guide.
A lot of questions to ask an adulterer. Oh no, don't say it, Dan.
You might have to now.
What does he eat?
You know.
And we're back.
What else was dated? The whole the perspective of the fight coverage, like when they're in the chemical showers, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, we can listen to play-by-play updates on the radio and then check out still images on the 10 o'clock."
Not too shabby. Yeah, I've literally written down Lenny's lame plan.
Yeah, not too shabby. That's their quote, isn't it?
I really love the ongoing joke there. We also saw it in the one where the farm one where he sends out, "You sending some outgoing mail, huh? You know it. Maybe I'll send some." Like, they do nothing when Homer isn't there.
Yeah.
So when Homer's not causing wacky antics, they're just watching still frames on the news about the fight. Not too shabby at all. I remember that New Year's Eve at Lenny's, he didn't even have a clock.
What? Sorry. Sorry.
Quote from a different episode. Remember that? I don't know. Remember that New Year's Eve at Lenny's? He didn't even have a clock.
Yeah, it's a terrible New Year's Eve. How do you count down? How do you count down with that clock,
I get it
man?
now. Wow. I think that joke flew over my head from whatever episode that was from.
Also, how do you live without a clock? How does he go to work in the morning?
Especially back in the 90s when you didn't have the internet to tell you what the time was.
Well, we know now Lenny lives near a highlight gymnasium.
They share a common wall.
Yeah.
So a common wall. So I imagine he just wakes up the first thump against his wall.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
Back on point though.
Yeah.
So Moses appears, flash a light, beautiful angle of Moses, which is of course the classic Heston
that
Moses
Charlton Heston,
shot.
yep.
And he reads the announcements in no particular order.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Love that.
Yeah, and everyone just looks so put out. Well, it looks like we're all out of jobs.
Yep.
Shit.
Shucks. Wandered the desert for 40 years, and then some guy just says, "Hey, stop doing that."
Actually, and then, when it cuts to Flanders at the episode and he's going off at the cable guy, and Flanders in typical style, oh my god, he tried to do something illegal.
How dare he offer me free cable?
How dare he?
I should call the police.
He had half a mind to. But,
Yeah. And then, oh man, when the cable guy just later turns up in his house, he's just like, "Hey man, you want this stolen camcorder?"
It's like, "What? How'd you get in?" "Oh, your door wasn't locked in any serious way."
Oh, beautiful. Smartest thing I've ever seen Homer do is 10 seconds later with 5 locks in his door and bars in his window. That's way out of character for that guy.
And
Yep.
that actually brings me to what I liked about this episode is the emotional stakes did feel very real, where it was like Homer eventually realizing he did have to fight for his family's respect because...
Yeah, he may not have bought the whole soul angle, but he did appreciate the respect idea.
Yeah, because of how much he had to compromise to keep the illegal cable.
Yeah, it wasn't just enough to say, "I'll unhook it after this." He makes sure he doesn't even watch the fight. So
Yeah. And I liked how they pointed out how he got bored with it, which anyone who's had Foxtel knows fucking exactly what happens.
Some not so subtle jabs at the Fox network, right?
Yeah. Movies on cable are ranked 2 stars or less and played ad nauseum. Yeah, definitely. I mean, not to say you don't get bored of Netflix or any of the other ones either.
Oh,
but
sure. What was the line about, like, if you didn't see it at the movie or rent it or catch it literally anywhere else, here it is on the Blockbuster channel.
Yeah, exactly.
heavily censored, most likely.
Because, I think Foxtel are only just advertising now that they just got Guardians of the Galaxy.
So come on, guys, really?
Sorry, I really shouldn't be kicking them while they're down, but...
No kick. It's them who have refused to get better or change with the times. They're still
They should advertise Guardians of the Galaxy as like nostalgia, golden age of cinema.
Hey kids, remember this? Wow.
Especially because I don't think Foxtel has the rights to the golden age of cinema anymore. So.
Oh man, what do they have? Reruns of Buffy?
They still have Game of Thrones
and Porn Stars.
Man.
And various Storage War shows. Yeah, I think that's all we watched on Foxtel, right?
That's all we watched.
Porn Star, Game of Thrones.
Police 10-7, bro.
Oh, Police 10-7, bro.
Which, for those of you out there, is New Zealand cops, and it's really adorable, because there's really adorable crime in New Zealand.
You were trying to nick that, eh?
Oh, no, I wasn't, bro. It's just in my pocket, bro, and I walked away with it, didn't I?
The shopkeep saw you take that out of his store, mate.
No, bro, it was already in my chili bin.
Scene. What a twist. What a twist.
We love you, New Zealand.
All right, before we head on to the questionnaire, there was another dated thing. What the fuck's a Donnybrook? Apu says it to Burns, and it's come up in another Simpsons episode. This is a Donnybrook.
And now, welcome to Googling on the Simpsons Index. Everybody, Google.
Donnybrook.
Bum, bum.
Named from Donnybrook Fair, a notoriously disorderly event held annually from 1204 until the middle of the 19th century. The town of Donnybrook comes from the Irish Dromnach Broch, meaning the Church of St. Broch. Donnybrook, a brawl or fracas, a scene of chaos.
Ooh, I like
Oh.
There you go.
it. A fracas. A
In
scene
Rudyard
of
I,
Kipling.
chaos.
I like the description more than the actual word. A
know.
brawl of fracas.
Yeah, a scene of chaos. But the Hindus turned out and broke their heads when, finding lawlessness pleasant, Hindus and Mohammedans together raised an aimless sort of Donnybrook just to see how far they could go.
Wow.
There you go. That's
I
Rudyard
am
Kipling.
thrilled. I am glued to my seat, or maybe just drunk.
Wow. So that's what Apu says to Mr. Burns. He goes, "Oh, wasn't that a Donny?" I'm not going to do the accent. "Oh, wasn't that a Donnybrook?"
Oh, I can't believe you would say it like that.
How racist.
And then what was? I don't know. It was just a big rambling Mr. Burnsy and
No, come on. Mr. Burns is all like, hush. Back in my day, we watched whatever his name is fight an Eskimo fellow bare-knuckled for 13 rounds.
130 rounds.
130.
Because if it was any less than 50, you demand your nickel back.
Oh god, like old school Mr. Burns.
Yeah, I just like
Yeah,
fight an
classic
Eskimo
Mr.
fellow.
Burns.
Yeah, and
I want to hear about his auto gyro or something, you know?
Yeah. Unless you got anything else.
Fill it with petroleum post haste. I've got. When I can pay for it, I will, but I can't, so I'm not going to. I've used that plenty of times. It's not so necessary in paying. It's just I would if I could, but I can't, so I'm not going to. Oh yeah, and just actually, I might wait for quotable moments. Fuck it, I'll do it now. My sister really likes the very, very beginning where he turns on the cable and goes, "The clown is a treasure that'll last a lifetime." Just gets randomly thrown around my house every night when I was growing up.
Fair enough.
That's the weirdest thing to latch onto.
Random little fact, in the episode where Santa's little helper's like misbehaving heaps, in one scene he's chewing the remote and they use that sound bite. The clown is a treasure that'll last for a lifetime. I just remember
Pops
it.
up again. Well, I mean, it lasts a lifetime. You have to flog it a lot.
Yeah.
Other than that, just Mr. Burns going, "Oh, good news! I brought some munchies."
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, Smithers, the Cheetos.
Cheetos.
Yep.
Awesome.
As if he's really watching his diction on that.
And I mean, we've already mentioned it, but if we're doing quotes, while we're doing quotes, man, the foot.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The cable stays, the foot has spoken.
and yeah, total awesome animation going into an act break right there.
So powerful.
I think that's a good lesson for anyone in a relationship. It's just occasionally, when you're really serious, literally put the foot down.
Cable stays, the foot has spoken.
Yeah. Like, nope, we are not going to your mother's this weekend. Foot is down.
We'll be right back.
Questionnaire. So the storyline, I don't actually consider it like having A, B, C. I think it was just like
It's all a big flow of A, yeah.
Yeah, one story that affects multiple people.
You get branches of
You get three parts of an A. You have three perspectives of the same coin.
Yeah.
You have a three-sided coin.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get the I'd pay for it when I can, but I can't, so I'm not going to.
Homer's struggle with
The morally
guilt.
grey area where
There's
he does
Lisa's
justify.
struggle with real guilt.
Yeah.
And
Homer's the morally grey. He's got his justifications for why it's okay to do this, but dives straight into we've got all this free cool stuff. I may as well profit from it.
Yep.
Yeah,
And Lisa's got
Bart's
the high road as
pornographical
always of this is wrong. So,
And Marge is struggling to be the supportive wife anymore.
Does she have a role, or is she sort of a side character to
No,
all three?
she's more commentating, I think. She's
Yeah.
like pointing out to Homer
she's
that his daughter...
adjudicating. Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah,
say
hey-
she has an arc, is
No,
what I mean.
no.
She doesn't have an arc as a character,
Nope.
but she's present in all three other arcs.
I think she just got hooked the second they had make your own band-aids.
Yeah. Woo! But no, she's there to commentate, to let Homer know that, because he's a dumb husband that hasn't noticed yet, your daughter's fucking losing respect for you, and she points out, hey, I shouldn't be watching that racy channel, and
Did she say that?
She did
Yeah.
say that.
she did.
She used the word racy.
Wow.
So you know it's serious.
That is pretty hard from her.
And, it is a channel that only mummies and daddies who love each other should watch.
Also, daddies whose mummy don't love them so much.
And single people, and actually it's cable porn. It kind of sucks.
Yeah, everything gets blocked off by, like, a plant or a vase or
Oh,
something.
Or frames, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that episode of The Simpsons.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Mum, if you were wondering what all those charges on the Foxtel bill were, that was me. Do you remember watching this back in the day?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I've been there. I've done that.
I believe it was Once Upon a Midnight Weary, as I fucked that up already.
That rhymed.
No.
You're a poet.
No, I cocked it up. It's wrong.
You just gotta pronounce it better.
Midnight Dreary.
Oh come on, man.
High
no one's
standard.
here to correct the fine print.
I am.
Yeah, but then this will be in the internet where everyone is so quick
Oh,
to
yeah.
correct you.
Just don't put a comment section on the website. That is the worst.
Well,
move you could
we
do.
don't. But
Deal. Yeah, people don't even pay attention to my Twitter at Simpsons Index.
Except for that one person that replied.
yeah.
Yeah, I've actually had a bunch of people.
Shout out.
Oh, so you go from no one's replying to a bunch of people are replying. Make up your mind. Who are you, man?
I'm a man full of contradictions. Point them out, internet. Yeah, I don't have any like specific memories. I mean, back when I was a kid, when I saw this episode, I know back then I believed in hell and Jesus and the fairy godmother and all that crap, and I think I was afraid of stealing for like a week or something.
Oh, while we're pointing out Elliot's flaws, you told the same joke twice, producing two distinctly different tones.
I mean, hurry to believe this is some kind of magical joke.
Oh, that felt great.
Thanks, man. Is this an episode you have revisited often?
Gosh, no, it isn't. I remembered it scene for scene, like everyone jumping in on the fight and the cops turning up,
Yeah.
Eddie and Lou, and Homer being like, "Oh, it's Eddie and Lou." For some reason, no one knows their names except Wiggum, which is weird because they're in like every second episode.
Do you know the local cops' names?
I really hope it's Eddie and Lou.
I'd
It
be
is.
very happy if it was.
Yeah,
I don't know. They might not have even had names at this point.
Yeah.
that's how the world works. They haven't been introduced as characters yet. They don't have names.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Do you stop and wonder the names of everybody walking by in your day?
Oh, most of them are faceless background characters. Yeah, that whole scene there, the fight scene, and everyone coming in and hide the beers, then hide all the nuclear power stuff.
Yep.
I could quote that right now. I could do it scene for scene. Ready? I will go. Starting. Nope. Never. Not gonna do it. But a lot of it is sort of, I laugh at it and then forget about it afterwards. Is that wrong to say? Is that wrong to say? Like,
Nothing's
No,
wrong, man.
I actually wouldn't say this is a particularly joke-heavy episode.
No,
like-
it's definitely not.
it's
That's-
not pretty standout. I mean, there's good parts in it. There's like the porno scene parts, the porn titles, that was hilarious.
Yeah.
The Moses stuff, that was really
Yeah, that's
great.
funny.
And the fight scene at the end, and stuff happened in the middle,
There's
right?
some other bits. Actually useful Reverend Lovejoy.
But no, it's not one that you've gone back and checked out a few times. Not really.
It's one of those ones, I think I've probably seen it like in the first...
En passant, as
Okay,
the French
since
say.
it came out, from the point it came out, I probably saw it 20 times and then not again for another 10 years.
Sure. Yeah.
So I know it. It's gone through enough times that I know it for sure. But I don't think I've seen this for a decade.
Yeah, I don't often put on season 2, and I went back and revisited it lately. I really should, because there are some killer episodes in 2.
I'm sure there are.
But yeah, I'm probably the same 20 times back in the day, once, twice maybe since then.
Yeah.
Any jokes that you only just noticed on this viewing?
Probably giggling at the porn titles is something that I
Yeah.
didn't do when I was 10.
Stardust Memories.
Yeah. And I noticed a lot more porn noises coming after those titles. I don't think I noticed that when I was a kid. But wow. It sounded like a pretty raunchy sort of porno.
I don't think I noticed it then, just watching how their faces change and contort
Yeah.
as they're watching it. I like that. You know, it tells a greater story than actually what would have actually been on TV.
Like gross, but strangely compelling.
Yeah. Any jokes that flew over your head?
Not that I remember.
Donnybrook definitely didn't
Yeah,
laugh.
no,
at
no,
Donnybrook.
what about
definitely
Donnybrook?
did. Yeah, Donnybrook for sure.
Yeah.
It was all pretty straightforward.
See yourself putting this one on again in the future?
I kind of enjoyed it. There are more important places to stop at if we're driving past season 2.
Sure.
But I got no complaints with this episode. I would be happy to come back here again.
All right.
Yeah, I feel like I need a reason. Do I want to do some Simpsons religion crossover stuff? Do I want to hear the word Donnybrook used in a sentence? Outside of that, I mean, I'm not going to avoid it. I just don't know if I'm going to seek it.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying though. It would be good in like like a playlist, like a here's the religious episodes playlist, or like a here's the moral Lisa playlist, or here's ones with
Homer Lisa episodes.
Yeah,
I think that's a good
oh,
compilation.
hey, we're doing the hashtag thing. Or like
No, I
boxing
ditched
matches,
that.
Dredrick Tatum episodes. Oh
Yep.
man,
Probably the first Dredrick Tatum appearance.
I reckon.
Yeah. I'd like to dedicate this fight to the memory of my manager. I'd also like to dedicate this fight to the memory of his manager. You couldn't do that, man.
One-man boxing show. I like it.
I have you guys in the palm of my hand. Let's talk about the wackiness. Aside from those animation bits, which were just sort of like
That's imagination.
character fantasy. I don't.
You mean the devil turning up?
Yeah.
That's probably as wacky as it got. Hey,
It's not really wacky. It's a manifestation of imagination. It's never literal or made or anything.
Yeah,
At least it does run
Simpsons-
away screaming. So
Yeah, Simpsons tended to be more grounded back then.
well, the Moses part, it wasn't a dream sequence. It wasn't a movie. You cut forward 2,000 years.
true.
So that's canon. That was Homer being canon in the past.
Oh, I guess I always thought of it that it was a dream sequence because he's on a hammock. But you're right. Why would they put the dates there?
Yeah, 2,000 years later, boom, Homer.
Yeah.
The relative. Well, maybe not even the relative of, just the spiritual successor.
Yeah. And he just got that stealing gene passed down.
Stealing genes happen. Yeah.
So not particularly wacky. The heart though. Oh my goodness, the heart.
So much heart.
I love the turnaround with Homer. How he's like, I'm doing the right thing, but I'm still really resentful.
Yeah.
I'm not very fond of any of you right now.
Yeah, I've been that gigantic baby. Fine, you're right, but I'm going to be sullen and fucking angry about it.
Yeah. No, that felt good. Watching him like sit down Bart as well. That was really great. If I can't be happy, Bart, you damn well can't be happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Lisa definitely had a heart arc. She spent a long time with Reverend Lovejoy, who is actually being useful for change. He's Elliot's crying at the moment. You guys can't hear it because it's a podcast, but he's just
beautiful,
in
man.
tears from the power of this episode.
I got a sneeze that's stuck.
Oh man, make sure you
Sneeze
hold
break.
the mic close to your nose.
Oh my god, my socks.
Oh, we are not changing mics in between the episode. As we usually do. Everybody trade microphones.
Yeah, it's like changing ends in tennis or something.
Yeah.
But again, to add to the vernacular of nodding, shaking.
Ooh. Shake, shake, shake. Nope.
That's too many, just one.
What were you talking about, man?
The heart of the episode.
The heart.
Lisa's really the... Well, actually, I really think Bart is a good symbol of the heart of this episode because he's the one that you can really see being influenced by his dad's choices. You can really see that his dad, without even like playing a main part in Bart, he's not doing anything evil directly in front of Bart. I got the hiccups. You got to just bear with me. Whoa.
That's okay. I'll take the ball and run with it.
Yeah,
There.
attention listeners, this is not delays happening in your recording, it is delays happening in our Danny.
Oh.
Just another dated moment, but like saying hell as much as possible and like it being a swear word.
Oh yeah, man.
was
Our
dated.
swear words are so much more hardcore than that.
Oh, yeah.
We have
Oh,
words
yeah.
that I don't even know what they mean anymore.
It's true.
Did this feel like an episode of The Simpsons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
Let's rank this thing. Beach, kick it off.
I'm sitting at a Grilva. There's not a lot of laughs, and it's hard to. I don't know if I feel that way because I feel the story is so dated, or if it's just not a compelling story to me terribly much. I like the flow of it, and I like the jokes that are there. I'm going to silver it. I think you're right. There are better in this season, and it's not a highly quotable one. If someone said to me they'd never seen it, I'd be like, oh, okay. I wouldn't be like, what? Watch it.
It's the one with that part in it, you'd say, and then be
Yeah,
like,
you know.
It's the one with the foot.
yeah. It's the one with the foot, yeah, and the fight
Marge eats
scene.
grapes, and then Lisa's like, you should, and then he's like,
Oh man,
two grapes, two measly
Yeah,
grapes.
That's a highlight.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, Silver.
That's where my heart is.
See, I was gonna say gold, and he's starting to talk me down towards silver.
You should not let
It's
me go
it's
first.
your opinion, man. You
I
don't have
know,
to
I
do
know.
a
Don't make
uniform ranking.
don't make him make us write our things down first and use right
Oh
Batman symbol.
man, you get to hold the letter in front of your head and be like, really big shoe, really big.
Yep, much like the hashtags, I ditched the part about writing ranks down.
Yeah.
The skipper, Gilligan, and Chief Wiggum. Name 3 castaways.
Oh hell. Yeah, no, look, I think before when you said, did this feel like a Simpsons episode? And we were just like, yes. Bam! That's why I want to give it a gold. Because despite it not being amazingly funny or really fast-paced or have the impeccable timing of the best episodes, which we don't call gold, we call super fun happy time slides. No, we call them cubic zirconias. So there is a rank above gold, and the magical episodes deserve that. Elliot's looking at the clock, and I'm just like, come on, man. Come on. Give me another minute.
Oh, it's okay. I reckon I can edit out about 3 minutes of it.
This guy. Despite it not having that magic sparkle of the Cubic Zirconia episodes, which we've come across dozens of times now, it really does feel true to the heart of The Simpsons, and it's one of The Simpsons' hard episodes, and that's the bottom line. We're more fans of the LOL episodes, the hilarious ones, whereas this one, it really has that Simpsons-y heart to it, like the shoplifting episode or the Santa's Little Helper episode. It despite being slower and having a strong religious overtone and morality themes to it, really felt Simpsons-y and early Simpsons-y in a way that I was very happy with.
Nice, man.
Thank you, man.
That was
Thank
beautiful.
you for letting me. You're going to chop all this shit out, aren't you? I can see it in your eyes.
It's just going to end up sounding like, I thought it was very good.
No,
Damn it.
It'll just be an episode with just Elliot.
And we're back. What'd you think? Well, I agree pretty much with everything you said there, Gold. Like, I was also skirting the line of silver, but I feel like it's a quintessential but non-essential Simpsons episode, if that makes any sense.
It does, weirdly enough, yeah.
So yeah. If you're in the area, stop on by and check out Homer versus Lisa and the 8th Commandment. It's a good cafe to order some bacon.
Stop your metaphor.
And we're back. So next we're going to be watching.
What are we going to be watching?
What are we going to be watching?
Do
we get to choose, or are we just like going in blind?
No, I stopped doing that as well.
Yeah.
Oh, you are getting so heavy-handed,
We have
man.
no agency in this
You're
anymore, man.
ruling this with an iron fist now.
We
I
sure
love
are.
it.
Now be quiet. For it is my turn to speak.
Shit. What have we created?
Oh, Christ. We've given rise to a monster.
We always knew this would happen. Just like the old gypsy woman said.
Monkey paw. What could go wrong?
So we will be watching Season 18, Episode 2, Jazzy and the Pussycats. Do you guys think you've seen this one before?
Not from
sounds
title.
very unfamiliar.
Is it the one where Bart and Lisa get into a jazz group and Bart's a good drummer and Lisa's jealous? Holy crap, I got that right.
Nice.
What do I win?
The ability to watch this next episode.
All right, well, let's do some fade-out chatter while that happens.
You guys watched a lot of late season
Yeah, I know.
episodes.
We've done a lot of things.
I guess this comes from you guys being flatmates.
Ready for some mic adjusting sounds.
Bane of my existence.
Yeah, I know, buddy. I know.
And we are back, and we just watched Season 18, Episode 2, Jazzy and the Pussycats. Guys, what did you think? All right.
He says what we're all thinking.
Indeed.
I often think what we're all saying.
Well, I thought it was out of sight.
Groovy. No.
In the pocket.
It drifts between being a pretty solid episode and then just a mess at the same time.
Oh, man.
I mean, so to summarize quickly for those of you playing at home, Bart, through a series of wacky events, finds out he's actually quite a good drummer. In fact, it happens because a psychologist recommends that he channel his energy into drumming, and finds out he's quite good at it. Takes the spotlight away from Lisa while she's been the long-time jazz enthusiast, and Bart just kind of falls ass backwards into it. And then things get odd, because that whole setup and that whole him taking spotlight away from Lisa. It's a good bit. It works for structure. And then in her rejection, she starts collecting stray animals, and then
That's the thing that happens.
and then has to get and then isn't allowed to have them all, so she has to sell them back. But then they're like, oh, but in a strange twist, if you don't find them all homes before tomorrow, they'll all be killed.
Yeah.
And then there's a benefit concert, which is meant to be for Bart's arm because a tiger bit it, of course.
Oh, yeah.
And then, but then
the
he's like,
tiger
no,
bit
Because the
I'm
tiger bit it.
but no, then he decides to do something for Lisa and put all the money towards a shelter for all these abandoned animals, and you get your moments.
And the episode ends quicker than you can start going, wait, none of that shit made any sense.
Yeah, it's
Man, I don't know. There were so many points in that episode where I just had to stop and look at you guys and go, is this actually a Simpsons? Is this actually fucking happening? Come on,
did I
guys.
fall
It's
asleep
not
when we started watching a different episode?
Oh, dude.
Totally. Well, look, just starting out, I liked the white stripes bit at the start. Yeah. Maybe it went on a bit too long, and maybe you do have to know the video for it to be appealing.
Make any sense whatsoever.
That's a solid point.
Yeah.
If you hadn't seen that film clip, I mean, I've seen that film clip.
Oh, yeah.
But I think
if you hadn't,
I think anyone younger than us probably wouldn't have, right?
No.
Yeah, why the fuck is he drumming and leaving behind a bass drum but still
moving
what
on?
is happening?
Yeah, and then who are these guys?
Yeah.
Why are they doing a stop motion joke on an animation show?
Yeah, I mean, they were a big band and everything, but unlike when you parody something like Psycho with Maggie hitting Homer in the head with a mallet and him falling down and all that, that's, world famous. That's a huge movie.
Psycho's at the top of, the AFI's top movie list, whereas, I don't even know if Hardest Button to Button it was in the top MTV 100 that year.
Take that, White Stripes. Take that.
It's just, I mean, it's
But,
surprising thing to draw from.
Jack White might actually listen to this podcast.
I hope he does.
Going out on the internet, man. Could happen.
Please, if he doesn't have time for his children.
Take that, White Stripes. Take that. I'm so sorry, Mr. Jack.
If he does, he'll just start another new band and have a song about us.
Oh my god.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hold a benefit concert.
Groovy, in the pocket.
So yeah, but the episode did float between having moments of brilliance and having really shitty moments. The one thing that I hate about the newer Simpsons are the long drawn out gags. The Peter Griffin falling over, the style
the
gag.
bits that either are good gags but they go on too long, or they're bits you would have just said and then not followed through on. Like there's a bit where Lisa goes, well, how would Bart feel about it if I started riding a skateboard? And instead of just having that be the joke, she actually just gets on a skateboard and starts riding. It's like...
And that goes on for 20 seconds.
Yeah. And the Homer going, because I'm sending you missed messages. That I love you, damn you. That went on way
he goes in and comes back, and
that's a gag they've done before.
Yeah.
Many a time as well.
Yep, and probably less ham-fisted than saying, I'm sending you mixed messages. That felt very hacky to me.
Yeah.
But then the white noise machine, I actually really liked that bit.
Yeah, where Bart's drumming so loudly and Homer's like, I know, I'll turn on this. It starts with a really weird joke. He goes, I'll turn on this white noise machine I bought you when your father died. And it's what?
That's a bit strange.
Yeah, it was just, okay, if you just had a white noise, that'd be fine. You don't have to explain why you bought it, and also Marge's dad died,
Is that suddenly canon now?
I mean, he's been dead for a while.
Yeah, he's been noticeably absent, even if they never pointed it out.
Yeah, but
he was a pilot, wasn't he?
Don't look at me.
Yeah, he was a steward.
He was a stewardess. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, stewards.
Hey, this is 2016.
He was a flight attendant.
They're Virgin flight assistants now, I think.
They have to be virgins?
Jetstar employees do, yes. But
okay.
Virgin are a lot less discriminating.
Surprisingly. Yeah, but then he goes on, he's like, the white noise doesn't drown it out, so he puts on traffic noise, and then...
Oh, I know, I'll put on the circus fire.
That was a funny bit.
It's a bizarre joke, and it paid off. At least they're swimming for the fences, I guess, but sometimes it really doesn't pay off.
Yeah.
I like Bart's line, oh yeah, I'll get up on stage and play if I can have your omelette. Takes it. I'm a pro musician now.
Yep, take that, jazz musicians.
What is it? He yells at Marge at the end over the sound of the sirens and the
Yeah,
shit.
he yells, "Tell me when and if you want sex, honey."
Perfect capper. Because
Oh
that's
my
at the point that it's
God.
starting to go on a bit too long.
Yeah.
But yeah, where like they're doing the whole "can we jam with your brother" bit, and they're drawing that out too long.
Yeah.
We'd like
Yeah.
to. Yeah,
I kinda like that.
the too
It's
many
a
gasps. You like
standard
jokes
trope.
about too many gasps.
Sometimes, yeah. That's
Yeah.
as we discovered from the film festival one.
Yeah.
People at this altitude, you have to limit your gasps.
Yeah.
No, because you know where it's going, and it's just, yeah, I like it because it works.
All right, fair enough. And yeah, Gil gags sucked. The Cletus gags sucked.
There's a really weird bit in the very beginning because, of course, this episode about Bart becoming a drummer starts with the funeral for Homer's Vegas wife.
Oh,
Obviously,
yeah.
that's where we start. And the camera's going through the church, and in the back, Kearney is just bawling his eyes out, and you're like,
I'm
"Why
guessing
that
it's because that's his actual mother.
maybe it is, maybe it is."
Yeah. I mean, that could be canon.
I don't think she's old
That's
enough.
weird as hell.
Oh,
Kearney
yeah, because
is
he's
old.
like been
Kearney's
established.
like 30.
Yeah. But yeah, a really weird animation choice too. But yeah, a really weird.
But again,
thing.
maybe it
And-
was a joke that got cut. Who knows?
Why and why? Why are we watching the funeral for this character from?
Well,
10 seasons
obviously,
ago.
it's so Bart can start playing with a paddle ball that launches a ball into Rebel
Oh my-
Lovejoy's mouth, and he spits it out and launches into someone else's mouth, and he splits it into the mouth of someone from the Blue Man
This
group.
is
who
retarded,
then,
right?
Wait,
This is
spits out
fucking
17
retarded.
other balls that then go from throat to
I
throat.
really
and
liked
that's
that
obviously
bit.
why we send Bart to a psychologist who says start drumming. Duh, Shag.
Oh,
Jesus.
well done, Beat.
It's like
well,
watching-
Beat. Well done, man.
It's like
No, that
watching
was
a
beautiful.
completely straight line of dominoes fall over. There's just.
It's like, and now the dominoes are falling. And now they have fallen.
It just makes perfect sense. Like.
Right.
Another bit that I really liked, the Dream Denied magazine.
yeah.
Why would you even have that?
Well,
Look at all these magazines Bart's been on the cover of. Here's the only thing I've been on the cover of. Pulls out a picture of herself.
yeah. Sitting in a gutter.
Heartbroken in the
Yeah.
gutter. Dream Denied magazine.
So at this point, the story, like all this time leading up to this moment, it's been all about Bart, channeling the drumming, and all of a sudden he's becoming a better jazz musician than Lisa. Then the story just, pardon the pun, dog legs, and
That's a pun? Oh, into dogs, right. I was thinking about jazz.
Oh, Beach.
I had to come back to your level, I'm sorry.
He's streets ahead, man.
If you have to ask.
Shit, wrong show.
oh, I'd love to do that index. And then Lisa just starts adopting a shitload of animals, and
Yeah. It's
and she
All while little
it's
green bag.
strange.
starts out with a dog, and then she has an imagination about the dog that she left behind. So she goes back and gets the dog. Find out the vet nurse really loves fucking killing animals.
Yep.
man, that was just dark. She
Yeah.
was sick.
And so she adopts like bird, dog, and then walking along.
And then she does the clicking your fingers and the gang
Yeah.
The
joins in
montage.
behind
Is that
you
a
thing.
Reservoir Dogs?
It's Reservoir Dogs' Little Green Bag, yeah.
Yeah.
So good soundtrack choice, but just
There's a lot of musical montages in this episode.
There's
actually,
a lot of music in this song, in this episode,
all the jazz
This
songs.
song has
Take
a lot of music.
Five.
which is
Button
such
to
a
button.
it's such a cliche. Take Five is a cliche, but it's something school kids would perform at a jazz club.
And it shows an improvement in Bart's playing because he'd been sort of doing rock drumming up until that point.
school kids would perform it at night. Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Like, yeah.
I
They're not going to do giant steps.
I was gonna say it in a much meaner way.
But I didn't
that'll do.
recognize any of the other jazz tunes that they played.
Oh man, you didn't notice Foggy Foggerson's getting there in time? What's wrong with you? I thought you knew the jazz.
Oh, I didn't.
You know, kids today, they got the hippin' and the boppin' and the bippin' and the boppin'. They don't know what the jizzazz is all about.
Don't you mean Juzz?
Oh yeah, jazz. Sorry, I mispronounced.
Another stupid joke, which I get why you'd hate it, but I really liked it.
Yeah. Lisa, teach me all about jazz.
It was a little.
Would it make more sense if you pronounce it jazz?
Yeah.
Or Jizz.
No.
No.
Get out, Elliot.
Or Janel.
Weak, man. Low hanging fruit, man.
Yeah.
Well, way to kill it. Just take your own podcast behind the shed and just bullet between the eyes.
Okay, so
I'm
Elliot,
sorry, little girl.
And we're back.
Yeah. So yeah, it's been like 15 minutes all about this like pretty logical through line of like Bart's thing. Like, yeah, illogical shit like the whole balls in the mouth happened, but
Yeah.
that's what happens. Watch the episode.
If you hadn't said that, you could have just kept going.
Yeah, I know. But it was following a pretty logical through line until Lisa's story happens, and it just
Yeah, then the second act just comes
Left
out of
turn.
nowhere. You know, it feels like that old writing project where someone, you know, writes a paragraph and then leaves just the last
Yes.
sentence. And then someone else comes
Yes.
along, reads the sentence, and then writes the next paragraph. Because it's just so disjointed. And it,
Or like the books where people's hats they're wearing,
Yeah.
and then the people's clothes they're wearing, the
And
people's
then the-
pants, and
and
you
you
can kind of
just flip
switch
them
between
around.
the
Yeah.
3 layers.
yeah. But it came in so late. I think it might have even been the start of the third act that Lisa's story happened. That it's like they were wearing the wrong socks. Like, because they managed to bring the story back together, back to the whole jazz thing at the end when, yeah, Lisa starts hiding all these animals in a roof, and by this time she's accumulated an elephant and a tiger. Because
Yeah,
why
naturally.
not?
Yeah, enough of a gang for like a West Side Story thing.
Yeah, and so they're in the roof,
you
but
are watching a very different version of West Side Story. With just animals. I love it. No, I want to watch it now. I want to watch emus go like...
ooh, emus! How cool was the ostrich bit?
Oh my
Again,
god!
weird but
Speaking
funny.
of weird shit, just out of left field.
Yeah. Chief Wiggum's car won't start, and he's like, can I borrow that ostrich? And starts riding it around. But then later you get the background gag where he's arrested Snake and he's carrying
Snake's
around
on
an
an
ostrich.
ostrich too. It's
So
great.
yeah, I do. It's dumb, but it's great.
Yeah, but it's like just cut out of a
Oh, yeah.
totally different.
So very
episode.
left field. You could almost copy paste that and put it in anywhere else.
Yeah.
Anything that had a zoo in it.
Yeah, so, like, what I didn't like about the tiger is that it still could have been a dog. Like, it didn't have to, like, be such an unbelievable animal, and I thought that might have helped a little bit, but it
Yeah.
didn't.
Sometimes
But even then, Bart was in the roof smoking pot at that moment anyway.
that's,
so-
that's
Yeah.
also true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's never really mentioned.
It's yeah, it's definitely there. There's no, oh, you guys were smoking marijuana, I was smoking candy or something like that.
No, we was all up here not smoking reefer.
That's right. They're not called a jazz cigarette or anything.
Groovy.
In the pocket.
So yeah, anyway, Butts gets his arm bit and by a tiger, and then he can't drum anymore. Like, that's pretty good. I just wish, like, the B story had been introduced earlier.
I'm pretty sure that happened to the drummer of Def Leppard as well. So.
The tiger thing?
Yeah.
It was a bus crash, but close.
Bus crash, tiger, whatever.
Buses are nature's tiger.
Wouldn't that be, ironic if the bus...
That was a sleeper hit.
lost my train of thought there. That was really
Bus
good.
is a nature's tiger. Those poor gazelles.
The bus stalks its... Oh, damn it, that's a Family Guy joke. So yeah, they have the benefit concert, and Krusty does that amazing list of jazz names.
Yeah.
Oh man!
I don't remember much of them, but I love the premarital sextet.
But I mean, he was doing a bit. But like, doesn't he spiral just so far off field?
Yeah, because the end of that whole bit is him going, I'm going to go leave and throw up now. That's right, Krusty's bulimic. And it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, they do these bad show busy gags with Krusty where they like pin a bunch of cocaine and bulimia jokes on him in the later seasons. It doesn't feel right. Like, hey, I could deal with an alcoholic, chain-smoking, child-abusing, women-abusing monster, but cocaine and depression
I can
and
handle
bulimia-
child abuse, but I draw the line at cocaine, Elliot J. O'Neill. But don't you abuse drugs. They've done nothing but help.
We'll come back to any other quotable moments we might have later, but I think it's about time for the questionnaire. Can you play the questionnaire music, please, Danny?
Sorry, I just had to throw in Barney's bit there.
In the pocket.
Think on
groovy.
sexy thoughts. Think on sexy thoughts.
Okay, so the storyline, like
say.
we said, it was an A story, but it just has this weird B dog leg of a...
Yeah.
It's like the storyline has a pimple. No, actually, no. Let's go back to the whole swapping out the shirts and socks and
Yeah.
shoes analogy. That was good.
Yeah. It's like you've got each page, you got like the Knights page and the Aliens page and the Werewolves page, and suddenly flick, 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 and you got a little bit of each. Except this one is like aspiring jazz musician. You've got the weird Lisa animal gang thing. There's the creepy fucking veterinarian murder scene. Not animal hospital.
Yeah. I thought it was dealt funnily enough. It was a good delivery of, she knows all my secrets. Because I like putting animals to sleep.
Yeah.
It was a lighthearted homicidal joke.
You are weirdly on board with homicide today, and
yeah,
abuse.
I'm actually questioning whether I should like be telling this to a therapist or something.
You know, we're close enough.
It's all right, man.
Hey, you know what I recommend?
All you're
Drumming.
doing is telling everyone on the planet instead.
Yeah. And a therapist might be listening, therefore, ergo, I have done therapy.
Pretty sure that's how it works.
So, Shag, you said you have not seen this episode.
I definitely had not seen this episode. Oh, by the way, the final page on that weird 3-slice book is, of course, the church with everyone, the balls in the mouth church.
Yeah.
What the hell is with... That was like out of... Yeah, it's like how many different episodes are stitched together? Oh,
well,
man.
at least
it
4.
was it was at least the diving board for the Bart story to start. And at least it wasn't... It was unnecessary in so many ways.
Okay, let me rephrase it. Hey, Elliot, I want to do an episode about Bart becoming a drummer. How should we start it? Come on, hit me. Now you say your line.
Okay, Bart, drumming, church, balls. Yeah, there's no through line there.
I know when I think about church, I think about balls.
Yeah. And actually... God damn it. And
Second sleeper hit, yes.
And even then, like, it wasn't exactly Bart's fault. If the Blue Man Group guy hadn't, like, reproduced so many balls, there wouldn't be...
Yeah, I mean, that's some sort of, like, weird showbiz gag, I suppose.
Actually, I do like that joke where, when one of the Blue Man Group spits out, like, the ball that got knocked into his mouth, and then 7 others, and then he turns yellow.
Wait, why didn't the Blue Man Group suggest that Bart take up drumming?
Because they don't talk.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I should know. I've seen them.
God, I thought you were one.
No. That's
You just bald? Shit.
No, that's the support group for depressed men. Arrested Development guy.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
But you, BT, have seen this back in the day?
I'm pretty sure I saw it when around about the time it first aired, and then I probably saw it again.
So, yeah, 18, about 2007.
Yeah. I've probably seen it twice, I think.
Yeah. Wow, this episode's 10 years old.
Well, yeah, because I remember seeing it when White Stripes were still big and together.
Yeah, I actually weirdly feel like I watched the White Stripes bit on YouTube or something.
Probably.
YouTube's been around that long, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to think.
It is hard to think.
I think it came out in like 2007.
Yeah?
Yeah?
I'll
Prove me wrong, Internet. I'm sure someone will.
Well, actually.
And then I didn't see this episode proper until we were living at Castle, and I got Foxtel and watched it. So I think I've seen it about 5 times. Anyway, do you see yourself watching this episode again? Let's start with you.
Oh, it's so weird. It's so schizophrenic. I feel like I could watch like a quarter and then change the channel to something, or flick back or something. I'd probably watch it to analyze, or like I'd probably watch it and like go through it with people, or much like this. It's the Plan 9 from Outer Space one for me.
Yeah, it's one where if I watched it again, I would want like a big corkboard with like things I can draw like red lines from one point to another, because I'm sure there's some kind of conspiracy to be unraveled here.
It'd be a drinking game, or like a something bingo game.
It's like when you see one of those diagrams that like explains Memento or something.
Right.
It feels like one of those episodes. Like, this is so discombobulated, I want to make diagrams.
I hate to say this now so early in the podcast run, but this episode isn't like the worst criminal of all these crimes. Like,
no, that's the thing.
No. There's like just so many more Simpsons episodes that do the illogical fucking jumps between random storylines that don't make sense.
I'm well aware of that, and despite all its really oddly put togetherness, I don't dislike this one. This is actually, well, Well, we'll save that for rankings, but we laughed. We all got a good laugh out of it.
we all
It's
had fun.
odd as hell, but I don't dislike it. So
All right, fair enough. I would watch this again. Thoroughly fun.
YouTube, been around since 2005.
There we go.
There you go.
And we probably had good enough internet to get it in 2007.
this has been googling on the Simpsons Index.
Let's talk about the wackiness. We did.
Oh, we
Damn,
did.
like,
This is
when you've got a chase
wide up the
scene with
weirdo-meter.
the white stripes.
Okay, so we all agree this is super high in wackiness. Now, this is where we discuss, is it to the detriment of the show?
I think it mostly works.
I'm gonna.
I mean,
Wow, way to say opposite things at the
I
same
know.
time.
Now we must duel.
Round one, fight!
Should I go first or should you?
You go first.
All right.
Go first.
Well, look, this is really wacky. And none of it really links together. Each of them could have, in their own way, turned into their own thing. You know, like the church scene. The ping pong ball's a bit out of place, but there's one person choking, then the next person choking, the next person choking. I think if someone had died then, Bart dealing with the consequences of that being directly his fault.
Wow.
Crazy episode, you know? And then like him coming at peace with, it was an accident. I didn't actually like purposefully kill this person. Crazy episode.
It's pretty heavy there, man.
Oh, yeah, well, sure, but interesting. Instead, snip, snip, snip. Now we're in a different episode.
Yep.
Bart the drummer. And Bart the drummer could have been a really cool Whiplash thing, you know?
Yep. Well, that hadn't come out yet.
Yeah, but he could have been
the
first.
point.
Simpsons could have did it.
Well, actually, that's actually something I wanted to bring up.
Counterpoint.
Simpsons kind of did do this one because this is like where Homer gets to be a good artist, taking away Marge's love of painting. It's a pretty I mean, the beginning is similar, where it's one of them is taking away the passion of someone else. But anyway,
sure.
back to the point.
All right, I'll pay that. Yeah.
It's not exact. That's fine. But more to the point of whether I feel the wackiness is detrimental. Yeah, it's disjointed as hell, and I do want to see. I wish I'd seen a more structured version of this same episode where we'd followed maybe just Bart or followed Lisa's rejection. Maybe she finds something new that isn't completely unrelated and disjointed.
Sudden weird animal gang powers.
Yeah, it was an odd part, but as disjointed as everything was, I still got laughs out of it, and I still enjoyed it, even if occasionally I was like, what?
I feel like she should have been called the Beastmaster at some point. That would have been kind of...
That's just double Community references. And Beastmaster references.
And Beastmaster references.
Yep.
All right, so to see you guys on either side of the is the wackiness to the detriment of the show, friends. I sit right in the middle because
Well, way to just tie it.
Come on, man.
no, but my
just-
feelings are like I kind of agree with both of you, but my main feeling on it is this episode does swing for the fences. It goes for the 6 runs, you know. Sorry, I've been realizing I've been using too many baseball references.
Wait. Say that to me without a sport reference. What does it mean?
It went to 11.
It really did. So yeah, they really go for the wacky gags, the wacky jokes, the wacky storylines, and I think it paid off half the time, and it didn't pay off the other half. And yeah, it's
You heard it here first, folks. It's...
Don't make
Put
me
that on the
choose.
cover of the DVD.
So let's talk about the heart. It went for a heart moment at the end, but I don't think
Don't
it was
think
earned.
it really landed. Yeah, when Bart's like, hey, instead of this benefit concert going to repair my arm, we're going to make the Lisa Simpson thing, which it explains why my arm isn't bandaged next to... I don't know. Why it explains why he's not
I don't know,
drummer
man.
anymore.
Like him sacrificing his whole life in order for her to get some animals adopted. She could have just like taken time and had gotten them adopted anyway. This feels really disproportionate. Like he was like I don't know.
Like it learned morality from a Hallmark card or something.
Yeah.
It's very saccharine and unrealistic, but it's like, well, this is how
And
we're wrapping
it
things
did
up.
feel like a placeholder idea, like, you know.
We need some way for him to give up having the drums. How are we going to get rid of his drum powers?
I
Maybe
know,
Tiger
a benefit
bites
concert.
him. Tiger bites him. Oh, benefit concert. Out of sight.
In the pocket.
Groovy.
But it didn't feel like an episode of The Simpsons.
I'm gonna say not. I mean, I guess
Felt like 6 episodes of The
yeah.
Simpsons.
Technically, everyone is behaving the way they should for the most
Some
part.
scissors
Like
and
Bart's
Yes.
Bart's got that sentimental point before. It's just it's
I
so
do actually
disjointed.
like that
Oh,
bit
the
with
protective
Marge
brother
explaining-
Yeah,
helping.
he does that sometimes.
And I like that bit with Marge explaining the empathy to him, and much like Homer
Oh
in
man,
the
I
opposite.
hated that bit.
Really?
Sorry, it was so like just jamming morality in your face. It
Oh,
did.
no,
It
but,
felt
like,
like
Bart
she
was-
was talking to the audience, and Bart was like, explain more about your thoughts on
About
ethics.
empathy, mother.
Yeah, but it even harks back to what Homer was doing in the other episode.
No, man,
where-
it's what I haven't got time to go into it, but it's
Yeah.
what I hate about the direction that Adventure Time took, where
Sure.
it's just
Okay.
like slapping you in the face with its
ideas.
message
'Cause
rather than
well,
being a story.
You compare that to the previous time where Bart gets Skinner fired, and he's like, "I've got this weird burning sensation in the back of my neck," and Lisa's like, "That's guilt." He goes, "Yeah, you're probably not." You zoom in, it's a spider biting.
Yeah, yeah.
It's kind of the opposite of that. It's like in him, he's thinking he's having a feeling, but in fact, it's a spider. In this, he's doesn't know what he has, and it's a
And
it's
so we spent
actually
5
feeling.
minutes explaining what human emotion should feel like between person and person, which is a beautiful and powerful thing. And already you're bored listening to me talk about it.
It's just that I think you're
He's
wrong.
bored. He's
you-
bored listening to me talk about it.
Well,
Well, yeah, I get bored when I hear opinions that contradict mine. Like, I'm the average Australian, duh.
I disagree with that opinion, and I'm bored. But if
Um,
we explained it with more ostriches, you'd be on board.
All right, I guess we'll just agree to being bored.
I don't agree to that.
Let's rank this thing. Kick it off. D. Annie.
That's not his name.
I know. I'm hoping you didn't notice.
I think he did.
Me. It's me, remember?
Oh,
You're
buddy.
you, and I'm me.
hey.
I am me.
No, I'm me.
I'm
You're
Lee.
you.
And you are Lisa Simpson.
This is... We'll have to sort this out afterwards.
What do you rank it?
I'm giving it a participant.
Whoa!
Yeah, like I could have given it a failure. I don't think it's like it. I think it was pretty funny. It had a few moments that I laughed at, but all of them felt like they were totally separate from each other, and they each had like they had 5 or 6 punchlines, and they wrote 5 or 6 little stories around them, and then they just fucking sticky taped that shit together. That doesn't make a good episode. That just means they were good. It just means it had good ideas. That's basically it. That's basically it.
Okay, BT.
For structure, I agree, but I got enough laughs out of this to give it a bronze. I enjoyed. I had fun. I giggled. We're still quoting bits.
Yeah, I only said wall because, like, I was seriously considering silver. But,
Oh wow! See, I would not go that high.
but yeah, the story's all over the place. It's
Yeah,
the story is
structurally,
rubbish.
it's
but
ridiculous.
enough
but-
of the jokes. If the story made a little bit more sense, like, it might have gone up to
Yeah.
silver.
Like I
It-
said, I really want to see a version of this in an alternate reality where it actually held a structure instead of just being several different post-it notes glued together. But like I said, I got enough laughs out of it that I feel it warrants the extra leg up.
Yep. All right. Yeah, that about does it for Jazzy and the Pussycats.
Wait, you didn't rate this, did you?
Yeah.
You said you
Oh,
were going to
didn't I?
give it a silver, but then you didn't go say what you were going to give it.
Oh, I thought my agreeing with you was the implication. Yeah, I'm giving it bronze as well.
Okay, because sometimes we agree and then completely rank things differently.
See, I didn't fail it, man. I could have failed it,
You
but
could have.
You could have.
You could have.
And I would have been so bored with your reasoning.
You monster. We have created something horrible here.
We're such good friends.
man, there's better than this. We're not judging.
Oh, yeah, duh.
We're judging it as a Simpsons episode, and there is so much better than this in The Simpsons.
That's
Yeah.
true, but did you have a good time? I had a good time watching this. I'd go back to this one.
I tend to reserve participant for something there's just like no feeling on at all. Like we watched
Well,
a couple at
ones-
my place last
yeah.
time, and there were just ones we like. I just watched a half hour of television.
Mm.
That is a thing that has happened. Whereas at least this, I got some good laughs, and it's more reserved for the ones that aren't, tear your hair out, annoying, terrible. That are just they exist. Time goes by, a linear progression of events has happened.
But
You
yeah,
see
I've
credits.
also ranked something participant for making me laugh as much as it made me hate it. Like, so it's like it all balances out, like the chips that were burnt on the outside but frozen in the middle.
Huh. Maybe it comes down to that you guys have both seen much, much worse than this. So you guys have been scarred in ways that I haven't. And so, to me, this is, this isn't that good for The Simpsons. This is about as bad as I've seen, but not quite as bad as I've seen.
You're coming from, there's a fly in our soup. We might be coming from, there's some soup in this fly.
Yeah. I like that. Well, speaking of bad episodes, actually, that's not fair. I don't remember this one. We are going to watch season 25, episode 3, 4 Regrettings and a Funeral.
Oh my gosh, fading out. I'm doing that this time.
How will I ever talk like that?
I don't know. Let's 50 more minutes. That's the best joke ever.
Oh, I wish we recorded that. Yeah. And we are back.
We didn't.
And we just watched season 25, episode 3, 4
Regrettings.
4 Regrettings and a funeral. Guys,
we're famous me.
Beach, what did you think?
I think I just watched half hour of TV that people were paid to make, and it was formed into a structured plot.
Structured?
Watched, and the images on the television were received by my brain. That's what happened.
Yep.
I can definitely say that happened.
I don't fucking know where to start doing a synopsis on this episode.
Well,
it's such a mess.
Let's just start at the very beginning. As Julie Andrews suggested, it is a very good place to start. So,
well, first of all, it starts out with like a 2-minute long Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Oh my god, it does.
Okay, let's track back a little bit further. It does start with Bart putting up a farewell Marshall Wallace.
Take
so
a
long,
moment
Miss
to
Krabappel.
say, missed you, Marshall Wallace, and I'm sorry that this episode was dedicated to you.
For those who don't know, the voice of Mrs. Krabappel, and anyone else, or just Krabappel?
And then hard cut
just Krabappel.
To the awesome map scene intro credits from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, and I believe I even said when it was happening, like, it starts panning over Springfield as a Lord of the Rings map, cuts to the Simpsons dressed as Lord of the Rings characters who roll up a map and go to walk out, and I say, if it ends... If it ends with them walking out the door, this will be funny. And then, nope, goes on for 2 solid minutes.
Yep. And then it doesn't do anything funny. It just puts Simpsons characters in the place of Lord of the Rings
story.
Yeah.
Oh, it does have the part 1 of 6, which is a little snipey gag there.
Yeah, but outside of that.
Yeah, it really feels rich of Simpsons to be doing snarky... your series is so long and drawn out.
It's going on too long, yeah. But from there, okay, so then we get to the episode proper, in which, once again, we find the Simpsons at church attending the funeral.
I didn't plan this.
And as a kind of joke, it's a character. Everyone's like, oh, he was such an important part of our lives. We've just never mentioned him before.
Oh, yeah.
And then it goes to, let's see, Mr. Burns, Kent Brockman, Marge, and Homer all talking about the regrets they've had. And so...
Yeah, okay, so the first thing, I noted was, in the first act, nothing actually happens.
No.
They sort of, lightly touch on everyone's inner monologue as they're going through the regrets. Clip show. But it feels more clip showy rather than, here's, a 4-story story.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like a cohesive... a Seinfeld even, every one of the main 4 have got their own story that all intersects somehow. And a couple of the stories intersect, but it's not done in a good way at all.
No, it's just
and
slapdash together.
And by the end of the first act, I wrote nothing happens because, while the stuff was foreshadowed, it didn't feel like any, solid foundations were set.
Nope. This episode was built upon the sand. No solid foundation.
Yeah, and the style of it changed as well. Like the first half with the flashbacks at a funeral was really, I don't know, it was bittersweet, it was nostalgic, but once it cut into the second half, I don't know, the tone and the pacing really felt like a different episode.
Yeah.
Which, even though a lot of the characters and the themes sort of followed through vaguely, I don't know, it still felt like it was written by a different team.
Yeah.
Disconnected. It was very, what's the word?
Discombobulated.
Yeah.
Disjointed.
And you didn't even get a real sense at the start that that's what they were doing. And
Yeah, for a while, just like, oh, we seem to be shifting between story starts.
Yeah. None of the flashbacks really contributed to the storyline, or like the arc. Some of the characters came up again, but
yeah. And yeah, the stories weren't that good either. Okay, so the 4 regrets were, let's see if we can go around and do them. Marge regrets playing Bart Kiss music in utero because she blames that for
messing Bart up, I guess.
Yep. All right, Paige, what was...
Mr. Burns regrets a French lover that he could have done this one thing and spent 5 minutes a day thinking of others as per her request, but did not, and always regrets not pursuing her love.
Nice. Who is next? Nope. I've got nothing.
You have Homer and his beloved bowling ball.
Which he sold his Apple stock to get, and they keep fucking bringing up the Apple stock throughout the episode.
They really, they kiss Apple's ass, man.
But even like they do one last joke.
Sorry,
about Apple stock at the end, and they do like, and this is after about 6 littered throughout the episode, and it's Lenny saying something funny about Apple stock or whatever, and there's a subtitle going, "Oh, this is the last joke we're doing. Hey, we're not even getting paid for this." There were so many jokes in this that were like,
Yep, and the last regret is
Ken Brockman going for a cable news job, and hey, Rachel Maddow was in this episode. Good for her,
I guess. Good for you, Rachel Maddow.
So, what did we think? Was there any thing in this episode that we liked? Can we find some good things?
I know we laughed a couple bits. Oh yeah, Mr. Burns does his famous trying to get rid of someone, presses a button on his desk bit. He drops under him, he goes, "Who is my dad?"
Yeah, that was like a joke I felt like they've done before, but that particular delivery of how he goes, "Who is my desk?"
And he's also got a good line in the beginning where he's reminiscing about this woman. He goes, she broke my first heart."
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I love it.
And there was an implication. The whole fucking pulling out his pockets a million things before he finally gets the wedding ring.
Oh, fuck,
it's
man.
It's good shtick, but it was so, dragged out.
So cheap.
Yeah.
I hate that gag. And, of course, he pulls out all the evil things. He pulls out the monkey's paw and the chest that goes evil. And he pulls out...
But yeah, still on Burns, I liked his line about the vulcanized prophylactic.
Vulcanized prophylactics. That classic 1910s
that's really gonna chafe.
Burnsy.
Yep.
Which do I take first, the rhino horn or the tiger heart?
That's now that I like that one.
Well, Mr. Burns is always fun.
I don't think I laughed at it, but like I like it in concept. His stick figure gag, I took a portrait of a stick figure.
Cheap.
It was funny the first time.
The first time they did it was good,
it
but then they're like, "Oh, and here's my portrait of Pablo Picasso and my portrait of Ernest Hemingway." And they're all, it's like, okay, it was funny the first time.
It feels like, I don't know, even calling it a Leslie Nielsen sort of gag. I mean, I'd expect to see it in The Naked Gun. He opens the book and the sketch artist is drawn like with the.
They can't see what you're doing with your arm, but he pretty much drew.
What I'm doing.
A stick figure in the air.
And then the painting on the wall later on of the stick figure.
I like that callback, and if they didn't do that whole extended bit with all the other stick figures he drew, I think those 2 gags might have been funnier.
Yeah. If he hadn't done it every time, it would have been...
But they are very, low-hanging fruit jokes, though.
Yeah, but it's funny. The one quote I do want to bring up, as I'm not sure what the hell's going on here, this is the second time Ralph has referred to Sky Granny.
Yeah, Sky Grandma.
I can't remember which of the other episode was. We have done it on Simpsons Index, and Ralph is just because naturally all this leads to Bart getting into a washing up basket filled with helium balloons so he can float to the sky. I can't even remember why he's doing it. Shits and giggles.
He even says,
50
I don't know, rebellion.
50% attention, 50% to drop things on people. And Ralph just goes, he's going to go see my sky granny. It's like, again, what are we referring to here? Again, I feel like there's conspiracy. We're through the looking glass.
Yeah, but like, out of all the Ralphisms, like, it's not a funny thing that Ralph says, Sky Grandma.
That's why I'm considering conspiracy. Rand Corporation.
So every time they've said Sky Grandma, they've activated a sleeper agent or something?
Yeah, something like that. When will those two words ever come together?
You know, I was actually thinking the other day, what about sleeper agents that aren't programmed to kill, like ones that are just, like, programmed to go do the washing or something?
Yeah, I've got a bunch of them.
That sounds very convenient.
Yeah, it is. It's great.
Is that why when you said avocado melon sandwich, I started a podcast?
Yes.
Huh.
You're laughing. I'm confused.
Anyway, just filling out the time. But speaking of
Just
Ralph...
like they were.
Yep. But speaking of Ralph, I liked... Wiggum had a good line. The kid's scared to flush. He thinks it's his brother.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And I liked the gag about the snipers, but again, it went on too long.
Yeah,
A little bit grim, too.
I watched a policeman get killed. I watched a policeman get shot
didn't
and
get
die.
killed.
By
He
friendly...
got
he
shot
was shot
and died. He got shot
He
in the
got
back.
shot enough
In the back.
that made
And
him
fell off
slump
a
over.
roof.
He didn't fall off the roof. He just slumped over
Elliot,
the ledge.
Elliot, do you think bullets make you sleepy? Because they don't. They kill you.
Dude, he was shot with a sniper rifle.
In the
There will
back.
be a hole in him the size of like a baseball.
And as we know from many bouts of GoldenEye, sniper rifles to the back will kill you, and so will slappy hands.
Yeah, but they didn't. The camera didn't start shaking with the blood, and the music didn't go dun-dun-dun-dun.
From his
Down.
from his perspective, it might have.
Ooh.
But he had lots of body armor. He was all the way up on full blue.
Wow, GoldenEye references. I feel good.
I actually
Elliot,
haven't got much to go on
you
this
just watched a
episode.
cop
No,
die.
yeah, no, I agree.
You watched a cop die.
I won't believe
You
it.
did
La, 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 la.
nothing.
What you said? No.
You did nothing. What was he supposed to do? He was too late, man. You know where Springfield is? Portland, Oregon. He can't get there in time.
That remains to be confirmed.
Look it up.
It doesn't
Anyway,
remain to be
so
confirmed.
point is, my main note on this is just Sky Granny, double and underlined an exclamation point, and everything else is just stuff we've already mentioned. Oh, we got on the downside of lines is Burns finds out that the love of his life has become a nun, and
Yep.
he's like, "Oh, married to Jesus, huh? Does he beat her?" And it's like, "Wow, that's creepy."
Yikes.
Like, I'm all in favor of a good God joke or godson bashing women joke, but that wasn't good.
You're all for that exact type of joke, except that joke.
Again, any therapist listening, I'd
Yeah.
appreciate some advice.
You have to deactivate your sleeper status. You got some problems. I may have left some things behind while I was in there.
And fucking hate all the women, all those bitches.
Marmalade yogurt. And sleep.
we're back.
And that has been the end of the podcast. Thank you for tuning in to our final episode. The whole I liked Rachel Maddow. I thought she did a good job. I don't think she was given good material to work with.
Nope.
But like, especially the bit where she's like, "Fine, go back to local television. Go report on where Santa's at.
Oh, man.
Oh, look, he's over Greenland."
Yeah,
Like, I
what a
thought
burn.
some
That
really-
was a great burn.
yeah.
Yep.
Hated the origin of the tire fire,
The
and
bit,
hated the reason the tires are there.
the bit where she was telling the story and she kept cutting away to commercial and coming back with
I
the
kind of
coffee.
like that, yeah.
Yeah, but she did it 3 times.
Yeah, the first one was good. The next ones weren't. This episode did do the thing of dragging the jokes out way too long. Yeah, really did. Sorry, I didn't
Dragging things out too long, you say. Dragging
Family
things
Guy.
out.
Family Guy, the
too
knee.
long.
Everyone knows it. Everyone knows it.
Dragging things out.
And when they did it, the first time I saw it, I was amazed. I thought it was funny, and then I thought it wasn't funny. And then I thought it was funny again. And then it wasn't funny. And then it fucking was funny again. They're like, wow, I can't believe they're actually going on with this.
Yeah.
It was like groundbreaking. And then the second time wasn't, and the third time wasn't. And, you know, no one...
It's still going.
It's still going.
It's not ending.
Here we are in another show, and they're still doing the same thing. But it's not still getting the same reaction. And I don't think it ever will.
No.
too long.
You waited a long time for that.
Well, I've been making sure this drags out and keeping jokes going on too long.
I do want to point out with the monk as well, she mentions, oh, I've been saving myself for you. And it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. She totally had vaginismus by then, right?
That's weird.
Can you explain what vaginismus is?
No.
It's
no,
like the opposite of
no,
Christmas.
No. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Hanukkah?
Ah.
I'm still so confused.
It's a really weird thing for a nun to say, for one thing. Hasn't she supposed to have, like, let
Made
go of
peace
her
with
earthly
the
attachments
idea,
and
yeah,
stuff?
Instead of just waiting forever, she's meant to have...
Yeah. The only reason I became a nun was for something to do while I waited for you to get back and bang.
Like,
Yeah. Weird. That was weird.
Weird. And then her turning into powder.
Also strange. He touches her and she just, like, melts.
It's just a natural thing the body does. It's beautiful in its own way.
It's a side effect of vaginismus.
It was weird, though, right? Like, she was all like, and he was all like, I'm just going to go to the bathroom first, babe. And she's like, oh, damn.
That was an excellent Mr. Burns, by the way.
Thank you. Oh, damn. And he's like, bathroom. Comes back out, and she's dead.
Yep.
Yeah. What the fuck, man?
I know. It feels like an Adam Sandler bit or like a Jim Carrey bit or something, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it was very hacky, and I want to also come back to the hackiness with how Marge wraps up the episode, and it's like you're saying with Adventure Time, where they're cramming whatever it is that we're trying to say in the subtext down your throat at the very end of the episode.
Yeah.
The thing I've learned about regret is a blah, 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 blah.
And the whole family steps together, and they're like, well, I guess this about wraps it up for this week, guys. Looks like everything's right back to normal.
Yep. And that's the end of that chapter.
Isn't that right, Joby Durr, the alien?
Yep. Totally wrapped up.
That was a pretty good alien.
Was.
Yeah.
Thank you. Time for the questionnaire.
Oh,
Cool,
hit me.
this'll be
Hit
great.
me. We were only like 17 hours into this.
Oh, no, the questionnaire for the final one is quick. Do you see yourself watching this episode again?
No.
Ah ha ha. Ah ha ha ha.
No, sir, I don't. No, sir, I don't like it. Ren and Simpy fans. How wacky was this episode?
It was fairly zany, Kent.
It was the kind of boing wacky.
Yeah. Slapsticky wacky.
Yeah. Do you think we should crack open each other's heads and feast on the goo within? Why, yes, I do, Kent.
I can't wait to do that episode. Heart? I didn't feel the bumps from any of the stories.
You've got... I'd almost call it anti-heart. You've got Marge watching Bart misbehave and go, let me try and see if I can figure out a way to make this my fault. And you're like, wow, that's just depressing.
Yeah.
She doesn't resolve her story either.
Bleak.
No. She does because Chief Wiggum is all like, hey, I made Ralphie listen to Mozart when he was in the womb, and look how he turned out.
Oh, is that what
So
gets
she
on
stops
around?
blaming herself for the Kiss records. That's the extent of her resolution.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, actually,
Her resolution is Wiggum calling his son retarded. I don't think he's ever done that before.
He's implied. He's never outright said it.
Has he?
I'm just
When
trying
has
to-
he implied that?
I'm just trying to think, because I'm
he's
sure...
playing Wiggle Puppy.
No, but he's really impressed with Wiggle Puppy. He's like, that dog has had some crazy adventures.
Yeah, but he's surprised when someone wants to be friends with him.
Yeah,
he has some awareness.
You get the feeling he knows, but he doesn't say it. So
Well, maybe he went through the exact same thing when he was Ralphie's age, so...
yeah. And then he became an acne-ridden teen. Listen to me, breathe! But we'll get to that one.
Oh, can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
So just talking about the resolution, so Mr. Burns says something funny even though he just watched a person die and disintegrate in front of him, and he moves on. And Homer has his bowling ball become a hero to save Bart, but then gets shot. Yeah, the resolutions are pretty weak too.
Yep. And Ken Brockman's just like, I like it back here in small town for some reason.
Yeah. Oh, there was
No,
that whole
because
weird
Hollywood
bit with...
was like asking him to sell out on the truth, man.
He's like, hey, I'm gonna go where I decide what the truth is, which is the same thing you're offering me. so-
Yeah. Hollywood was asking him to make decisions about what the truth was, and he's like, no, I want to go home so where I can decide what the truth is.
Yeah.
That's ironic, man.
So...
Man.
It's all just kind of weird. This is Kent
Yeah,
Brockman,
it's-
who's won the lottery while living in Springfield, who's doing very, very well, who's, all arty. I think what the listeners really want to know is, how's my house doing? He's Kent Brockman. He's doing
He
all
is the picture of success for Springfield standards.
That's right. He isn't in Rachel Maddow, but he is Kent Brockman.
You know what? I don't know who Rachel Maddow is. I know who Kent Brockman is.
Really good reporter.
That's nice. Is she Kent Brockman?
No.
Take that, Rachel
Yeah.
Maddow.
How
Her
many
name's
news
Rachel
reporters
Maddow.
can you name
Way
that
to be
aren't
real.
cartoon characters?
Anyway, did this feel
Well, I
like
can-
a nope?
Antoine Enos. Shout out to Antoine Enos.
Yeah.
Who's Antoine Enos?
SBS reporter, yo.
Boom.
Greatest name ever.
Yeah.
It's pretty badass.
Antoine Enos.
But who's the ABC guy from the classic one back in the day?
Oh, Richard.
Yeah, Richard.
Wilkins.
Not Richard Dawkins.
Wilkins.
Oh man, I'm so sorry, Richard. I know this. It's just you just caught me unawares.
All right, before
And
we
we're
get
back.
before we get into another episode of googling things, it did not feel like an episode of The Simpsons. I'm not even going to ask you guys. Did you have any other quotable moments? Possibly. I'm really fucking scraping.
Who moved my desk?
Yeah,
sticking
was
with that.
that was great. I think that was my favorite.
highlight of the episode.
Who moved my
Let's
desk?
rank this thing. I'm kicking it off. I'm actually giving it a participant. Surprisingly, I didn't hate it. It was just super flat, and there were a couple of good gags. A lot of shitty gags, but I didn't.
So
It's
there were
not feeling
worse-
like a failure
worse-
to me. It's feeling flat. I'm not watching it again.
It's this sort of talk that gets me scared for the future. He's sitting there thinking, it could be worse. There's worse.
Oh,
There's worse.
Oh yeah, man.
Wow, I'm really scared. This is without question the worst one I've seen so far.
No, fuck it. Actually, I'm failing it. I don't stand by that at all.
Wow, way to flop on yourself.
No, I really.
I wasn't trying to talk you into a failure. I suppose I was doing a segue into me failing it.
You're failing it.
I'm definitely failing it, man.
Yep.
It makes me disappointed in the writers. Sorry, writers, but I'm disappointed in you guys. There were funny one-lines, but as an episode, it was a joke. It was what you'd hold up in film school to say, "Don't do this." And then they dissect it into 1,000 reasons,
Yeah.
which we could do, but I won't.
Well, no, I felt like I immediately contradicted myself because I've spent this whole time going heaping shit on it, fucking tearing strips, struggling to remember the fucking thing we just watched because it was so unmemorable and like. No, I'm totally failing it. Yeah. How about you, Beach?
Well, AJ O'Neill, I'll have the answer to that question right after this. And we're back. So, my feelings on this opinion, the question you just asked me before, is in fact, I am participating in it. I don't hate it. If you were to remember it, if you hated it, basically, you would have parts of rage to be yelling out. I agree, it's a structural mess, and it's... But it
You
could
haven't
work
got
if you tried
anything-
harder, but I'm just going to say I didn't hate it enough, and I just kind of nothinged it. I was just kind of bored, but I wasn't angry. So, in the way I think of a participant, if I'm not angry at it, it usually gets a participant.
Look at Elliot. He's being swayed by both sides of the argument.
I know. You want to just go perch on his shoulders and we'll...
You got any dice on you?
well, yeah, of course I do.
Dice.
Where's my bag? Hang on.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll for my opinion because like I'm seeing both sides.
I don't think you can do that, man. But, let me see.
You got to add your int.
Yep, D20.
All right, so above. Okay, so 1 to 10. That'll be
1 to 10 failure.
yeah.
10 plus. Hey,
yeah.
Come get the fucking... I'll throw it. Yeah.
11 plus would be participant then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
15. It got a participant.
Hey.
Like it's still like I feel like it's even splitting hairs just
I
on
think
that rank.
at the bottom line is none of us, of the three of us, have anything good to say about it. And that's why Beach is giving it a participant, because there's
Because I feel neutral about it.
he doesn't really have anything bad to say about it. And I feel like if we wanted to sit here nitpicking things I could for 90 more minutes.
Yep.
But it doesn't leave me in a smoldering heap of rage, and I feel like some episodes are going to.
Oh, yeah.
I know there are ones that we just get angry at. The ones we failed.
I've made up my own index just to keep a track of the episodes that I've watched and stuff, because I've realized there are actually a lot of gaps in my knowledge, especially of the later seasons. And I watched one recently called What to Expect When Bart's Expecting, where he gets his art teacher pregnant through voodoo.
Wow.
That is an episode that fucking happens.
Wow.
I watched one a little while ago where Ralph Wiggum is being nominated for the US presidency.
Elliot, that's actually happening. His name is Trump.
The Simpsons are putting out shorts about Trump at the moment.
Wow.
Yeah, they've been putting out
they're little Pokemon Go shorts.
Yeah.
They're confusing. I don't know if they're meant to be parts of an episode coming up or if they're just
no
shorts.
YouTube content, bro. What about the social media likes and retweets and fucking whatever they do on Instagram?
It's all about the tweets and twiddles and instas and
yeah, man. And chatting in a snap. Speaking of which, we're only available on one social media platform so far, which is Twitter, @SimpsonsIndex. But you can also go online at Fuck this shit, I hate plugging crap.
It's your own crap.
Oh yeah, watch Dave Plus One. Alright, and listen to Terrorential.
So that's 2 failures and a participant.
2 participants and a failure. I went with participant in the end.
Really?
Oh, didn't you?
Yeah, because, again, it did. It was story a mess. There were a couple of good jokes, a lot of bad jokes. And when I think about the episode as a whole, I do think of it as flat. This is me convincing myself that...
If you're following the dice, you don't have to convince yourself.
You blame the dice.
The dice told me to go that way.
That's the answer.
And that's been the end of the episode. BT, Danny, thank you for joining me in the dank tonight.
So is that what we're calling this now? All right.
Yeah,
cool.
Kind of apt. It's kind of dank.
I do look forward to future episodes where we just decide everything via dice roll.
Yes. Yeah.
Hey, the next one's a 17.
All right, season 17. You ready? I'm ready.
Oh, shit.
Quick, which episode?
8.
I hate that one.
May as well see what it'd be.
Welcome to the third part of Googling things on the Simpsons Index.
Don't need to Google it. I've got it on my personal index.
Ooh, well, la-dee-da.
It's the Italian Bob.
Oh, I hate that one.
All right, so next time we 3 meet, we'll be watching.
Yes, the
Italian Bob is our mid-run.
Oh,
episode.
I can't wait to hate it.
I can't believe that. That's amazing.
That's my Band-Aid one. That's the one I know I hate the most.
Yeah.
The most.
Yeah.
You know what we should do, actually, for the next one? We should do a trio of Sideshow Bob episodes.
Okay, I'll be down for that.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to do some of the early ones.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Well, just one of them.
Yeah, one of them, I guess.
Well, there's the first one.
There's the first one.
Krusty Gets Busted.
Krusty.
You can find on when Liz and Dave joined me on episode 15. So and there's the Selma one. There's the
Selma one.
The Air Show one with
Air
Colonel
Show one.
Happablap.
There's the Damn one with Fraser's
Ooh,
brother.
Yeah.
Niles.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then there's the crappy ones where he wears someone else's face and they have to shoot him through different states.
I like that one.
I remember mediocring it.
The one where he sings, I am a modern of the military major general.
Cape Fear.
Oh,
yeah.
shit, you're right.
There's the one in season 25 where he uses GMO products to find out how to make himself overpowered superhero, and he turns into like a Hulk.
I'm already sleepy. Come on.
There's a bunch. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me tonight. That has been episode 17. I'm not tapping out.
laugh.
Rhubarb.
Peas.
Carrots. Dice.
Thank you for checking out the Simpsons Index podcast. Don't forget to go to www.thesimpsonsindex.com for the spreadsheet and information about upcoming episodes.
So it's cankle for vagina.
Yeah. No. Well, maybe. I'm cutting all this out anyway.
Yeah, that's for the best,
You
man.
say that, but you often leave it in anyway.
He really does. But those times were funny